or Olds, whatever you want to say. Derrick Rose is a New York Knick. The Knicks and Bulls agreed to a deal on Wednesday that would send Robin Lopez, Jose Calderon, and Durant Grant to the Bulls, who in return get Justin Holiday, Rose, and a 2017 second-round pick back to New York. So let's just take a look at what they're actually getting. The Knicks hope Derrick Rose will improve one of their biggest weaknesses last season. This would be what happened for them at the worst. So we're going to take a look back at this time in Chicago. Joins us now here on SportsCenter Coast to Coast. Here's a fun fact for you at home. 30 years ago, in the 1986 draft, this man here, was the #1 overall pick drafted by the Cavs.
30 years ago?
I'm sorry.
Wow.
But the folks at home should know that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course.
So let's talk about Ben Simmons.
Sure.
There's tremendous pressure. I talked to a kid. I said, so how do you feel about this pressure?
Rose is explosive enough. He's got to step back. He likes to get to the front of the goal. And Carmelo Anthony is a prolific scorer. So if they can add one more piece, I think they can attract that piece. Dwight Howard.
But they do.
I think so. I think they're right in the mix. If they can get Dwight Howard, Phil Jackson, Dwight Howard.
Wow.
I think they're in the conversation.
I have to ask you one last question. Former Cav, how do we feel about LeBron bringing a championship back to Cleveland?
I think it's unbelievable.
Welcome to SportsCenter Coast to Coast. Good morning, everyone on the West, and good afternoon on the East. I'm Cari champion. David Lloyd has the day off. We begin the show with a countdown. We're just about 48 hours away from the draft, so we'll hear from Ben Simmons, the projected #1 overall pick. But first, let's talk about the offseason in the NBA. That's going to be Kevin Durant. So marks the beginning of a new era in Los Angeles. Today, the Lakers will formally introduce Luke Walton as their new head coach. He will go from a team that won an NBA record of 73 games this past season to a franchise that has won a total of 65 games the past 3 seasons. Ramona Shelburne on the hopes for a brighter future for the Lakers. Speaking of celebration, Dwyane Wade played 13 seasons in Miami, and now he's trying something new, something he's never, ever done before, and that is the body issue. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. Plus, well. This list of athletes for this year's body issue of ESPN The Magazine was released today. On the cover, D. Wade. At 34 years old, he illustrates how 30-something is really the new 20-something. Coming off one of his best and healthiest seasons, Wade played 74 games this year, his best showing in 5 seasons. His commitment to staying healthy and strong is well documented as he graces the cover of this year's body issue.